Hi, I'm Scott, and thank you for joining my channel. I just figured that the best way to explain what's going on with my games would be to do it verbally rather than have you read a huge book. Well, anyway, the main reason I moved away from doing a Dark Souls or like a Breath of the Wild style gameplay was I was having an issue with the AI. So, one of the bigger problems with Unity is that it has trouble dealing with variable monsters and variable players, and then having those find each other within the game. It doesn't like it. It wants to fight you the entire way. Now, I did get it working, but I can only have like a couple of monsters on the screen at a given time before Unity just kind of gives up. Unity will keep running, but the monster will just stand there, won't do anything, might even just kind of float away. Don't know why. It's I figure. Well, actually, I do kind of know why. It's the on start. You can only have so many on starts. There's the call when you're just gonna say start this event or start this function. You can only do that so many times. You can't just use it as many times as you want. That's just not an option. So I kind of switched to this system, a little bit more Unity friendly. Now I'm not really happy about it, but I think it could potentially be really good. Now, some of the ideas I've had was there's this old game I played way back in the day. I think it was for Super Nintendo. Um, the name escapes me, but a friend of mine recently told me what it was, and then I forgot it again. But the idea was when you're fighting your enemy, you get to do combo attacks. You select like up, down, left, right, select start, all that good jazz, and your character will do those fighting moves. And if you happen to do the right combination, they will do a special combo, and then they'll always remember that combo, and then you can do it in one click rather than remembering every button code you did. I'm going to do something similar to that, and in addition to that, I was thinking dropping multiplayer and just kind of rolling with this, just for faster development, uh, more player friendly. I've noticed when dealing with the multiplayer with Unity, yeah, again, it works, but now you cut everything in half. You can only do half as many uh, services running at a time as you did before, unless you have like a really good server running in the background, and I did not intend to do that. I was actually going to use the one in Steam. So use Steam's ID calling to connect the players. So you'd have to be friends with the person and send them an invite. That was going to be the only way to do it. And I figure I can just hold off on that. Now, I didn't lose any of the combat system I've developed up to this point. It's all there. This is actually being developed in parallel to that. Now, I've run into another problem. So all this works, you can, um, the bars all fill, the health bars, all that stuff is all connected correctly, and they can attack each other. But the problem I'm running into right now is Unity again is becoming saturated with code. It's throwing up errors where there is no error. You can Every time it loads a scene, it will decide now I don't want to load, say, insert user interface. It's there. It's just not going to load. It'll come up with an error saying it can't find uh, some kind of texture file that isn't even associated with that particular game object, but for some reason it can't find that other one, so this one's not going to load, even though that other one isn't really part of the game. It's not even there. It doesn't exist. So like, I don't know why it's even looking for it. It'll just come up with some random errors, and they all clear. You just hit clear, and they're gone. They don't, and they're always the same errors too. And they're becoming super predictable. In fact, I could probably demonstrate one if I wanted to, but they're there's I looked them up online. One of the bigger issues is materials are what's used to you can do like this red monster here in the front, the one that's glowing, he's using a shader to make that glow. Well, shaders are built on top of materials, and materials can use like images to make the material. Well, my user interface is just images, doesn't contain any of those materials. But for some reason, it's saying it's missing parts of a material for those assets when there isn't one. It doesn't exist. So Unity's a pain in the butt sometimes. I'm thinking the best solution might be, I'm just gonna kind of roll with it and see if I can get rid of as many of these errors. But I'm thinking I'm gonna have to rebuild it from the ground up again. This is not the first time. It's probably the gazillionth time. Sorry. Yeah, I've done it too many times. I'm getting faster and faster at building games, like stupid fast, and I'm getting to like a certain point, a point where I've never like created this particular feature before, and I'll make that feature, and then I'll make two more after that, and then bam, I hit another wall where Unity just kind of gives up the ghost, and then I gotta start over, and then I'll get to that point again, and it'll work fine, and then I'll make a couple more features, and then boom, Unity gives up the ghost, and I'll start over again. Now, it's not all lost, because all the assets and even the levels are just drag and drop. I can just bring them into the new game, and they work just fine. The only things I'm losing by doing so is time. Time is to do all that is pain in the butt. Now this project alone is 120 gigs, and that has to be processed and run, and it loads really fast because my computer's really fast, but it it's still a pain in the butt. And beyond that, the I'm running several frameworks in the background, and one of the bigger issues with dropping a project and then rebuilding it from the ground up, yes, it will work way better because I'll make fewer mistakes and I won't have to like redo stuff a bunch of times. So that's actually one part of the problem is I'll build a feature and it doesn't quite work right, and then I figure out the way to make it work right, and then as a result, I don't do a very good job of cleaning up the old way. So it just kind of that's part of the problem. But one of the one of the problems with switching it to a new one is I will lose a lot of the data that's stored in those frameworks. They'll have to rebuild it from scratch. There's no way to copy that, not without bringing over the problems. So yeah, that's a pain in the butt. Uh, Maybe it's a good thing. Who knows? But this one, I'm going to definitely store it in the archive before I do so, of course. I have multiple terabytes of backups, just going to add it to that. So if anybody's got any questions and they want to know more about it, just leave a comment below and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. I don't exactly check all the time. It's low priority. Just like making the videos and posting them, I was actually not even all the videos up until now were actually not meant for YouTube viewing. They were actually meant for a different website that did terrible job at uploading videos, and it was easier to upload it on YouTube and get the higher quality and then post it there. So all over there is where everyone got all the explanations and they got all the interactions and things like that. So I do apologize for all the videos up till now. Now from now on, starting today, that's no longer going to be the case. The other site is no longer uh, going to be used for let's say reasons. um, anyway, this is probably going to be where I'm going to be posting them from now on, and I hope you guys stick with it. Now, I would like to know what other people are thinking towards making this game. So if you have some ideas or some features like from old video games that you played and that you really want to see in the like one of the games that I'm making that you want to have access to, let me know and I'll see if it's workable. Because honestly, I'm down for a lot of stuff on these, and I'm also down to collaborate if anybody is a game developer that wants to get involved on making a game. However, in order to collaborate with anybody, they will need to be using or at least pay for their own seats because I'm using a lot of frameworks that are expensive. And if you don't have them, I'm not going to pay for them for you. So there's going to be that. Um, and there's no way I'm going to give them up because they're definitely the only way to go. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day and happy holidays.